Tomorrow, Barcelona will face Inter Milan in an all-out Champions League clash to nick that first place spot in Group B. Certainly with the injury of Messi now, it's gonna be much harder. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through everything that I think Barcelona should do to try and get the 3 points tomorrow at the Camp Nou for the Champions League. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we'll be taking a look at yet another match preview, and this time around it's going to be against Inter Milan. In this match preview, we have to be very analytical. We have to find those things that Barcelona should do to try and win without Messi. For now, I gotta ask you that if you're new to the channel, be sure to leave us a like, leave us feedback, leave us a subscribe if you enjoy, but certainly watch the video first to see if this is your cup of tea, and then if not, no hard feelings. But now, I want you to enjoy the video, so let's start it off in 3, 2, 1. Start off this video by taking a look at how both teams approaches this game. In the case of Barcelona, we just beat, as you may have already know, we beat Sevilla 4-2 in La Liga, which is a very, very good result. The main thing we can take from here are, well, that Messi got injured and that we have serious problems at the back right now. Even without Messi, we did play good, we did have some attack, but throughout that entire game, the defensive output that our team put out there wasn't good enough. And it's been already like for the last 5 matches now that Barcelona are not able to dictate the game. That's why we've been conceding that much and have not been able to keep clean sheets. The case of defensive output certainly is out there, but our ability to control the game is not as good. And that's what I'm really worried, because with teams like Inter Milan, like Spurs, like we saw, and even with PSV at that sense, there are teams that now know what to do there, and they know exactly what they're playing at. And right now, we're trying to figure out what we're doing. And now without Messi, it's going to be even harder to do that. That's why I'm a little bit nervous for this game. Some of you may say that the Champions League is a completely different competition from La Liga, but let's remember that it's been Messi that really we have to give thanks for those 2 great results in the Champions League. Against Spurs, he was superb, the best player on the pitch by far. And then against PSV, we saw Messi to score a hat-trick, and that was just, do I need to mention more, you know? So in that sense, in this game, we don't have that. We don't have that ace. We don't have that imposing player that just can scare all the people in the opponent's team. In this sense, we're going to need to focus a little bit more on a collective, and we have to focus a little bit more on strategies and formation, stuff like that that's going to make us win the game. In this case, Barcelona need to do that to regain that control and take that tempo of the game that I'm so desperate for, and you should beat as well, because without that, all that Barcelona defending that we do, which is around the collective, like I said, of pressuring and defending with the ball on our feet, is just not there. And against a team like Inter Milan, which are very balanced, got a good defense, got a good midfield, and got a good attack, it's going to be very difficult to do that if we don't watch out for basically those main basics of football, which is concentration, focus, dedication, and motivation. With that being said, I still think that I need to stress this more, and it's that we need to get these 3 points now, because if we don't, then imagine what we have to do later on to try and still be in the race. You know, we're going to have to face against Inter in the Giuseppe Meazza, which is going to be very, very hard, and then Spurs in the Camp Nou, and then PSV in Eindhoven. That's going to be very difficult without Lionel Messi for 2 of those 3 games. That's why I cannot stress enough that we need to get these 3 points in this game. It's going to be very, very important, because if we're able to qualify in this game, which, well, we are not going to be able to qualify first of the group in this game, what we're going to do is cement just basically 1 point that we are going to need to get that. So the next game against Inter Milan in the Giuseppe Meazza, we're going to focus on that one easily, and then have La Liga open for other fixtures and concentrate a little bit more on that. And especially now with the inclusion of a Copa del Rey, we're certainly going to have to, you know, be a little bit more balanced in that, manage our game time and do more rotations. So if we want to be able to do that, to be able to rest some players, to be able to have rotation, to be able to do the thing why many of us think that we didn't win the Champions League in the last 3 years or 4 years, is crucial that we get the 3 points in this game against Inter Milan. Now I feel this is the right time to move onwards into the first 11s. For Barcelona, I'm going to go with a simple 11 of Marc-André ter Stegen. Then through the right, I'm going to go with Nelson Semedo. Now that Sergio Roberto is still back at the team, I feel that Nelson Semedo should deserve to start over him. The consistent output that he has been putting in the last 2 games is very impressive, to be honest, because I've always been one saying that Semedo needs to adjust a little bit more. And I feel that this continuity with Sergio Roberto's injury has really benefited him in a very good way. So I feel that we must continue that. So I'm going to give the nod to Nelson Semedo. In the center back positions, we're going to go obviously with Piqué and Lenglet because it's what we only have. It's the only thing we have. So yeah, that's our only reason. On the left, I'm going to go with Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba is going to be instrumental for this game, I feel. The right-hand side of Inter is one which is very weak. We have people like Keita Balde, which hasn't really adapted. Antonio Candreva, which is in the fastest. And then we got someone like Simon Resalco, which is a very hard, rough and tumble right back. One which I praise really, really highly. I think he was the best right back in the World Cup. He's still one that doesn't project too much in attack, you know? And in that sense, Jordi Alba can really expose and have a little more control of that right-hand side. And I feel that he's going to be very instrumental for this win. In the middle of the park, I'm going to go with Busquets. And I'm going to go with Rakitic, and I'm going to go with Arthur. I just feel that in the other games, I've said how we need to drop out Rakitic, how we need to include someone like Vidal. But in this game where we need solidity in that midfield, and we need a very good understanding of the game, someone like Arthur, Rakitic, and Busquets are going to provide that very, very well. But the main exception here is that Messi is not going to play. So with that, we're going to have like open space. And that open space for me is going to be taken by Ousmane Dembele. And then the two of normally, we're going to have Coutinho and Luis Suarez forming that front three, which in defense can go back to a 4-4-2. And then in attack, you just let them run and do their thing. In the case with Inter, I'm expecting the same lineup that played against AC Milan during the weekend. And that lineup was Handanovic in goal, Veresalco through the right. Then the defense is going to be finished up with Skriniar, De Vrij, and Asamoah. In the midfield, you're going to have Vecino, Brozovic as a number 10, or the cam position is going to be given to Raja Nainggolan. For the wings, Perisic and Politano, and then up top, Mauro Icardi. I think that in this game, Barcelona must be very careful and must approach it in a similar way to Spurs. I feel that teams like Spurs, Inter, AC Milan, even Real Madrid of old with Zidane, they're teams which are very, very good adapting. And if we don't really set what we want to do for the get-go in the game, like get the goal first or try to create many chances in the very first 15 minutes, we're going to get into big trouble. So in that sense, Barcelona should try and approach the game in a similar way like we did with Spurs and try to get the goal as soon as possible. Pressure the back line, try to force a mistake. That's going to make the confidence of a solid unit like Inter Milan to really decrease and make their focus shift completely. So I feel that in that sense, Barcelona should try and approach the game with a fast pressure mentality, and that's how we may get the 3 points in this game at the Camp Nou. More importantly, I'm going to expect a lot from Sergio Busquets in this game. Sergio Busquets, we're certainly going to have to look out for someone like Raja Nainggolan. Raja Nainggolan is not just a player that comes into the field and scores a lot of goals. He can do from midfield like Vidal, Paulinho. He's also a good creator. He's also a very good box-to-box midfielder. Someone that's going to cover a lot of ground. And Busquets, we know that he's not the most agile. We know he's not the most pacey of center defensive midfielder or even the strongest by that sense. He's one which is very, very intelligent, and his positioning has to be key for this one. Mauro Icardi is a player that really likes to get into space. Piqué and Lenglet could be able to take hold of him, and by that also the fullbacks must be very, very aware. But it's that defensive line, you know, from Jordi Alba to Nelson Semedo, Lenglet, Piqué, and then Busquets, which has to be completely focused in this game. Because Perisic is completely different to all of the other wingers that we have in the Liga. The same with someone like Politano, and Raja Nainggolan is a completely different number 10. These are players that can overrun, that can have more stamina, that can tire out our defense. So if we don't really keep control of the game, I cannot stress this enough, we may figure out something like a 90th minute goal. That's why Inter are so good at that. Most of like 7 goals I think of this season has come over the 80th minute mark. And that's because they always remain focused on what they have to do and never give up at that sense. And I think 4 of those 7 goals have been scored by Mauro Icardi. So we must be very careful with that. We must keep an eye on that guy, and we must keep our defense focused completely. If needs be, make some substitutions. Take out Nelson Semedo, bring on Sergio Roberto. Someone is going to be fresh into that position. Take out Busquets, bring on someone like Vidal. But always keep that solid unit, focus and balance. And to wrap this up, I gotta say that we must not put that much responsibility on our forward players. Coutinho, Suarez and Dembele are gonna be able to score a goal, but we are not gonna be able to give them that freedom if we don't defend as good as we did last season. We need to be a little more focused in the Champions League. And even though we've been getting the results, we've never really controlled the game. Against PSV, we could say we could have done it, but it's really PSV, a team of another complete level. Inter Milan are still not up the same level Spurs, but are just a little bit below them. And to be honest, this season they've been doing, in my opinion, better than them. So I feel that Spurs and Inter right now are at the same quality level of current form. Current form, okay? Current form. I don't want any kind of bullshit comments down below that I say, oh, the Inter are better than Spurs. But in current form, they really are even better or at the same level. So we must approach this with the same mentality we've had. Go in, trying to get the win, be focused, and we are going to get the result without Lionel Messi. So now, guys, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment box down below. Tell me, what do you think about this game? Tell me if you're excited, and tell me if you are nervous that we're going to play without Lionel Messi. All of that, what are you feeling? All of that in the comment box down below. For now, hopefully you have enjoyed. Leave me a like, leave me feedback, leave me anything that you want me to see, and obviously contact me on my social media if you want a little bit more personal chat between you and me. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.